Hello, world, and welcome back to Real Talk with Rajon, when nothing's off limits. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. I am your host, Rajon Lewis. Now, here on Real Talk with Rajon, everything's debatable, so on any given week, we be discussing anything from sports to music to politics. You name it, we'll discuss it. For those who are new to the show, Real Talk with Rajon has a goal of shining a light on the great people and the great things that are happening all around us. There are people in this world who are making a great change and doing great things and traveling the world and making amazing things happen. And we use the local celebrity spotlight here to highlight those people. And tonight I have a very special guest. He's actually my cousin, Reggie, aka Maurice Smith, but I know him as Reggie. I'm gonna call him Reggie sometimes, so don't misconstrue it. That is my cousin. That's my guy. Thank you so much for joining me, Reggie. What's going on, man?
Hello.
Yo.
What's good?
What's up? So, you are Smith, Reggie, aka Maurice Smith. You go by Maurice, right? So I don't want everybody out here calling you Reggie.
I'm very out there now.
Word. So my cousin Maurice Smith, and I will call him Maurice for the duration of this interview. For those who don't know who you are, please introduce yourself to the audience.
So again, my name is Maurice Smith. I'm a gospel singer. I love all genres of music, but I particularly, number one, sing gospel music to spread love and life and ministry and a new way of living, through music and inspiration and hope and all the things that comes along with being in the kingdom of God. Mm-hmm. And I love other music. So if you see me singing love songs is a natural thing that we share with God and with our significant others. So I don't have any issues with genres of music, but particularly when I am out, I'm ministering in song. Yeah,
absolutely. So let's walk them through the journey. Right now you're living in New York City, correct?
Newark, New Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey. Okay, you live in Newark, New Jersey. But what is your journey getting from through music to get to where you are today?
Well, the journey is living. The journey is actually living, is waking up and deciding on your moves, deciding on what you're going to do. My journey is my journey. That's number one. Is my journey. I've learned that everyone has their own journey to the road to success when it comes to their arts, their music, or whatever it is they're doing. And so I know for me, I went to college, I went to school, I transferred, I went to DeVry in Georgia, and then I transferred to Georgia. I transferred to college in New York City, and I lived with my grandfather. And then during that time, I had to take care of myself, so life swiftly changed, because now I had to become a real grown up in the sense of, you got to go to work, so, music had to become secondary, it had to become a hobby. It had to become something I could do at night because I had to work, so, but I wouldn't trade it or change it because it really built me to be who I am today. The opportunities that I've had, that the Lord allowed me to walk in, the teachers, the mentors, the people that actually spoke into my life and saw what God gave me, and another thing is, I might not have been pushed out there. I felt as though sometimes I was hidden for the right time to come out, to do stuff. And that in itself is a beauty. That is a beauty. Not being pushed out there, vulnerable, weak, and not sure, So this whole life journey, walk it out. Do not despise it. I sing with a group called Ministry Desire, Anthony Potter Ministry Desire, and we did an album called The Process. Do not despise the process. And everyone's ministry is not the same. I've learned that everyone's ministry is not the same. And who God wants you to minister to is not always what you see on TV. It's not always what you see the masses. Because, as you see, we see social media, we see all the R&B artists, secular artists, and how they're entertaining people. And, that's a ministry in itself. It may not be a quality ministry, but it's a ministry. It's sharing music. Music, which is one of the powerfulest things, universal languages in the world. And it's sharing, it's teaching, and good or bad, it's doing its job.
Yeah,
good or bad,
absolutely.
doing this job.
Absolutely.
You
So
know,
let's dive right there because it's clear, for those who don't know, that you are a man, who believes in God and believes in the Word of God. Can you speak a little bit to your upbringing in the faith?
well, I would just say like I'm just grateful. I mean, I've learned this too. I've learned that people didn't have what I have, and I had to open my eyes to that because I had a praying mother, grandmother, my uncle. They were in the faith. My aunts and my uncles, they were in the faith. So we was brought up. My mom.
Yeah, auntie.
She's the same way today.
Yeah,
And so I'm grateful, forever grateful for being introduced to Christ through my mother, watching my mother and my grandmother, and
yeah,
going to my granduncle's church.
yeah,
And now my uncle has a church. So
yeah.
you know, just those few lines itself is a blessing to my life because it has held me together. I've had my experience with God. I've had my personal experience with Him at a young age. So I've been saved for a very long time. I might not have understood everything when I first got saved or during adolescence years, but as I grew in Him. And I grew to
Absolutely.
understand other things. So it's so important as a child to be introduced to the right things, because it'll stick with you. It will stick with you for a very long time. Now, I've had some things happen to me, but the greatest thing that's happened to me is coming into the kingdom of God and letting God rule and reign in my life, and letting Him lead me and guide me, and Him, protecting me in New York City.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and going to Georgia and not knowing anything about anybody and learning people's ways and attitudes and stuff. So I contribute that to having parents that actually were in the faith, and they actually taught me, and they actually kept us together. There's 5 of us. I'm the oldest of 5. So we were always together. My mom didn't let us spend the night out. My mom and dad didn't let us spend the night out. We always stayed together. Even when they had to go out, we were together. We would watch Disney movies, and then we would go to church early on Sunday mornings. We'd be there like till 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I remember.
In the morning at 3 o'clock, all the way downtown. Downtown, I forgot the street. Downtown Charleston. But it was through those things that really kept me together. Those learnings, those practices.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that.
And those practices became my life. And it just shaped me, and it helped me. It kept me. So I it's very important. I can speak for myself. It's very important to have that type of growing up and that type of background, to have 2 parents. My father passed away when I was, I think, 6 or 7, but the Lord gave me another father. That's the blessing. That's the blessing in itself. So I don't know what it is to not have 2 parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what it is to be disrespectful to your parent. I don't know what it is to have a bad relationship with your mother or your father. I don't know what that is, and I'm grateful to not know what it is. And I had to calm myself down sometimes because I would see some people that I knew how they would treat their parents. And me coming from the background that I came from, and with the background we came from, it's just like, wow, that's so totally different. Like, how could you talk to your mother this way? Da, 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 da. So, but I learned that everyone, they didn't have what I had. So that was one of the eye-opening things in my life. Like coming out of the world from under the hedge of protection of my parents, and learning what the other world is, and these other people and what they had and what they're bringing to my space, and then what I bring to their space,
I love that. I love that. Thanks for sharing that too. I mean, a lot of people, especially now, in the modern era, it's not, I guess I say it's taboo, in the world for people to speak about God and speak about Christ in the way that you do. But one thing that I always find, to be very important, especially with the platform that I have, is to always give glories where glories due. And just like you were saying, I remember going to Full Faith Tabernacle with y'all. I remember coming by on the weekends and kicking with y'all, and y'all, it was 5 y'all, and I was always a 6'1", and I never felt like I was out of place or that I wasn't home. So I definitely know the background, and I'm glad that you were able to share and express that with the audience. Let's talk about the music industry a little bit.
Okay.
Because you for anybody who's ever heard you, and hopefully before we end this episode, we're gonna get to hear a little bit of the vocals, because I love to hear you sing.
Okay.
But
we had a little long night last night. Just put that in there.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So sorry, 1 second. 1 second. Nope. Good. I'm gonna keep rolling. For those who don't know, what are some of the things that you've done in the music industry that have allowed you to continue to build your status as a singer in New York and beyond?
Okay. So when I moved to New York, I was in my early 20s, and so I just started meeting people. I don't even know how. I'm trying to remember how I met. You know what? I think I went to this spot called the Village Underground, and that's where it was, and that's where I started meeting people. The Village Underground is this famous spot in New York City, in the West, in the Village, and dope artists will come, and they will come and sing on the stage. It's an open mic, but it was like very popular. They had a full band. They had Ron Grant was the host. We had people like Sir Pepsi Riley hosting. We had Melanie Daniels hosting. Antoine Robinson hosting. So many people I could just name that host that spot and other spots in the city. And so I was opened up to that side of my music by a friend of mine who took me to this spot that I didn't know about, because I grew up in New York partially, then we moved to Charleston, South Carolina, and then I went back to New York.
Right.
And then so that was like a whole another world for me. So now that I sorry.
That's all good.
Wait. All right, hold on. Wait. My bad.
No, you good.
All right, so some of the things I've done. I've done plenty of gospel tours overseas.
Yes.
Like 3 months at a time sometimes. I've done I've sung with Tears for Fears, Sinead O'Connor. I'm trying to remember all those. McDonald, what's his name? McDonald.
Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald, but I did that in Long Island, New York. So I got the background for a lot of people, gospel artists. Estelle, I did background for her. That was one of the best tours, because I kind of went almost everywhere at one time, because it was a tour, and when you're doing tours, they shoot off. Like, I had 1 week to learn all the songs to her album, and then to learn all the dance moves. And my vocal mentor, Charles Perry III, the superhero, soul superhero, we call him. He was the guy. He was the one that called me. I had just got off a tour, a gospel tour. I think it was 2011. I think it might have been. And I'm skipping something, but I'll get back to that. And he called me, and he was like, "Yo, I need you to come audition for this." And at this time, he was working for her, and they needed another singer. And so I came in, I sang, a little nervous, but I got through it, and I sang. And they chose me, and I had a week to learn all this material, music and songs and stuff like that, and I did that. So I did that. And then basically it's just been tours after tours. I worked with some good artists in the industry. There's this guy named Blind Fury. And I knew of him because of the open mic circuit. Like, there was another open mic I would go to on Wednesday nights. It was called 5 Spots. And so me and my closest friends, we would go there every Wednesday, man, and just sing and just be in the place. And he started coming, so he was coming around. So he's been coming for like 2-3 years. So we built a relationship. Him, Nyla, if she's watching, Blind Fury was that guy. So we just was vibing, did like 2 or 3 songs. I think I did 2 songs with him. And it was called Friends Before Lovers. And I'll get the next song out. It's skipping my mind. But it was Open Air. Yeah, it's called Open Air. And so we did that, right? We just did it in the studio because he was working on his album. And at this time I had went on tour, the gospel tour I did. And also Craig Williams, rest in peace, my brother. I did his tour as well. Another major tour I did overseas that was amazing. But anyways, came back and he had won the March Madness competition on 106 Park. Thank you. I'm my mind. Come on.
I got you.
And so I was like, oh, cool. So they said, yo, we got to do a video real quick. We need you to come down like ASAP. Like I couldn't even get my hair braided. That's how quick it was. Like all I could do was shape up, but I got a hat on, in the video, so did that. And the video premiered on 106 Park, so the song was played on their countdown. Yeah. So that was one of the defining moments, although it wasn't solely about me, I was a part of it. And my voice is on there and I'm singing, whether I got recognition for it or not, it's here or there. But it was a great thing. You go back on YouTube and maybe I might post it after this interview.
You should.
I don't really show a lot of people what I've done. That's another thing. A lot of people really don't. A lot of people really don't know, because I don't like, oh, I did this and I did that. Right. I did this and I did that. And that's just not my flow. That's just not my thing. But it's good that people know what you've done because then it's just a greater respect for your craft comes with that. Yeah. You're not just singing or just woke up the other day and just said, oh, I got a voice and I want to sing. So I've done that. I've sung at the Stellars. We do a lot of events out there during Stellar Weekend, usually in March, but this whole pandemic thing, everything is on hold. Yeah. And then through the course of time, I've released 3 songs. I released on my own. I've released You're All I Want in 2014. Yeah. You Are Great 2017 and 2020. I still believe. Yeah. And prayerfully this year, my EP will be done.
Awesome.
This summer, so I'm working on that now. And I'm able to put more time and money into it too, which is the best thing because I'm an independent artist.
Yes. Yes. So question. So, and I'm pretty sure this is something you hear a lot. You're a very talented person. I want to make sure I keep coming back to this. Like you're a very talented person. What do you say to people who say all you need is talent? Like if you got talent, you can easily get a deal, easily get in front of people. But can you speak to the struggles that you've seen? Because a lot of people hear it, they hear it once, an artist makes it and they're like, oh yeah, it was overnight success, but they don't realize all the trials and tribulations that guys have to go through and people have to go through to go beyond the talent to convert that into a legacy of being able to put your music out. Can you speak a little bit to that?
So all you need is talent. And speaking to the audience, do you guys know how many talented people are in this world? Like if all we needed was talent, and we believed it at first. I believed it at first too, because people would come up to me, people would, give me their cards. I remember someone who was with Houston's band and stuff. They came to me at the Village Underground. Was like, oh my gosh, we got to get in contact with you. I've had so many people say so many different things because they were blown away in the moment.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying thank you. But that's 2 different things. Saying thank you because you blessed me and I feel different and I feel better. Yeah. But it was beyond it. It was like, oh my gosh, I got to get you this, I got to get you that, and it sounds good. But after a while, it's just sounding brass.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Yeah. And so it's so many politics into it. It's so many different things. There's in the industry, it wants and I would just say it's just you can lose yourself in it. I'm just glad I didn't lose myself in the industry. I didn't really allow it to control me. Like for example, I haven't even announced this to everybody, but I did. The Voice called me.
Okay.
And they were following me on Instagram, I guess, and that's how they found me.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me if I would like to be part of the competition. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I did everything they said. I didn't do any auditioning. The only thing I did was I did send videos in.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Once I did everything they told me to do, they put me on the flight, and I went straight to LA. I stayed in Burbank. That's they had us held at, and we were signing all these contracts. We was singing, and we was just doing our thing. And it's really it's like you're there, and then you're not there. So for me, the experience was a little different. I was there. And people, of course, they love the gift, they love the voice. But one day I got a call and saying, hey, we've decided to go the other way. And I was on my way home. So just like that.
Was this before airing, or was this before airing, like before they got to the TV episodes, or was it?
This was like right at the main audition to get on television.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that was it. They were sending me straight through. They were just sending me straight through. They booked my flight. They paid for me. They paid me, to be there. Because I wasn't working. They took me off work. So that was like 30 days. I was out there like 30 days, just living in LA, being quiet, and not saying much to anybody except my mom and a few people, whatever.
Yeah.
But so that experience, like, had I been like, that, okay, so I would say this. Number one, the power of God is real. Because even someone like me who's so strong in their faith and who believes God to the utmost, I came home, because they don't say nothing. They don't say why. They don't say why. So it was like there was nothing I did or could have done, whatever.
Right.
So I came home and there was such a heaviness over me, such a dark cloud over me. And earlier that year, I had started, I've always watched his ministry, but my mom, she just was like, just watch his ministry. So I was watching it. And it was one day I was watching Clifford Dollar's ministry, and that thing lifted off of me because I had to, it was like the message was reminding me of what God has done from here to there, reminding me of what he's done for me.
Mm-hmm.
I had a car accident like a month or 2 months before that.
Mm-hmm.
My car was totaled.
Yeah.
I had a 2015 Q50 Infiniti luxury package, all-wheel drive, beautiful car, black car. Yeah. And my car was totaled.
Yeah.
And I walked out without a scratch, without nothing broken, no pain. Like if you look on my Facebook page, you'll see the car and the condition. And so I had to that in that moment, it just broke because I started to think about what God has done for me.
Yeah.
So for people that don't know who God is and can't recognize him or can't see him, or they haven't accepted him, that could be a very devastating moment to have been chosen for something so great.
Yeah.
And then to get down, there's an honor in even being called, but because you can't see it. There's an honor that they even called you and say, hey, we would like for you to participate.
Right.
But you get stuck at the end, and when I was stuck for like a few days, and that thing broke off of me. And I said, never again will I allow myself to get so deep into something that I want so bad. And then it may not have been what I needed to be a part of.
Right.
So that comes into play. That comes into play. Some things are just not ordained for us to be a part of.
Absolutely.
We don't know why. And so in a sense, I'm grateful because I don't know what that role would have been like. Mm-hmm. That could have been just saving my life.
Yeah.
Just like he saved my life in my car, in the car.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I have something that I always say. I always say, even God's no's are perfect. Like, even God's no's are perfect. There are so many things that we want. There's things I can look back in my life and I can say, God, I wanted this. I want this. I want this so bad. And we can get so caught up in the want that we look past the will. And the will is really what we should be walking in. It's because what we want doesn't matter. God's, and not to, go there, but his ways are better than our ways. His thoughts are better than our thoughts. Like, and if we really believe that, sometimes we're gonna go through life, the enemy's gonna put things in front of us that are gonna make us. It's gonna make us test the things that we say we believe. I always tell people, like, everybody has faith until we need it.
Right. Everybody. That is so true. That is so true. And some people will believe God for other people, and then when it comes to themselves, they will not believe it. No. Or there's not they don't believe it. They just don't believe it that strong.
Yeah. Yeah. That's powerful. That's powerful. That it really is. I mean, like, we really, like, it's those times when we are going through, okay, I'm this close to achieving my dream. I've been called to be on this show that I thought was going to be that vehicle that's going to catapult me to where I know God wants me to be. But then God's like, nah, that's not what I got for you. I have something better.
Right. And it's only until, and this is the greatest thing, it's only until you give him access. It is only to those who accept him that he has control. Outside of that, there is no control. But what I've learned is, when I accepted him, I gave him control.
Yeah,
I gave him ruling reign. So he is protecting me. He is stopping things before it happens, or he is looking out for me. He is directing my path. And although sometimes it may hurt, I'm always brought back and reminded about these few things, or many things, that God has done and where he's leading me. And even in that, I trust him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's a journey, man. The music industry is the music industry. The music industry is the music industry. I just say, just find your purpose, and whatever it is that you want to do it. If you're going to do it, do it. If you're living at home with your parents and they see the passion that you have for your arts, for your music, do it. Do not waste time.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they give you that time to do it, do it. I wished, another thing I did wish that I was still with my parents, because then I feel like also musically I would be so far. If I didn't have to work, if I didn't get this money, if I didn't do this, if I didn't do that, time, creativity could have been put into my music. But then here I go again, having to bring myself back down. Everything has its time. Everything has its perfect time. And everything that I've learned up to this point, I had to learn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good or bad decisions, because guess what? No one's perfect. Good or bad decisions. And even in bad decisions, he's still there to help and to pull us out of it, or show us another way. So I'm just even grateful for that. The music industry, it's to me. I just don't know what else to say about the music industry, because it's a lot.
It definitely is a lot.
Timothy. We was talking to Timothy yesterday, and my brother.
Shout out to Tim.
Yeah, and so and back to your point about talented people.
Yeah.
It takes more than your talent.
So much more. Yeah.
To push it out. Beyonce started in a girls group, and her parents just so happened to be in the music industry. Her parents so happened to see the gift that God has given them. Yeah. And so they worked years after years in building Beyonce within a group. They built a group, and then Beyonce came out separate. So there's work to be done. There's work. There are people that just signed one day. You're the right place, the right time. Or the right people. Is a part too. But there's work to be done. And then there's money. The money is the biggest factor of it all. We can create the best music ever, but if it's not being heard, it's the best music ever to me and you.
Yes. Between us and our homeboys.
Right. So I was trying to explain to my brother, like, that's great, but we need to build a sure foundation, money to fund it, and then push it out. You got to pay. You got to pay for servicing. There's radio servicing. You know, these people are paying for marketing.
Absolutely.
Emotional marketing, and then you got to work on yourself. You got to make sure you're 100% in what you're giving, your look, your actions, your personality, you know what I'm saying, who you are, let that come to the front, so that all that does play a part.
Absolutely. So like another thing you didn't talk about, and I'm going to make, because I know you don't like to talk about yourself, so I'm going to pull that out of you.
Okay.
You saying you won at Showtime Apollo.
Yes.
So you know me, you know how I am about music. So
yeah.
What was that like?
We used to always talk about when we was younger. The Apollo, we talked about that.
Yeah, bro. What was that like?
It was a great experience. I did learn something. It's okay. So the Apollo and being talented. You can be talented. That's great. But now it becomes the right song. It becomes the song that people know. And they gravitate to, so you can be talented, but if it's not the right song in the right moment, then it's just another great talent, but don't sing something that people know. This other song is coming. I want to sing this in my mind, but whatever the popular song, like it's not that has to be popular, but people know it. So you want people to know you want people to jump in,
Yeah.
Think what it is that you and identify with what you're giving. So I learned that. I won the Apollo twice, and that was a great experience. But I did also learn that it was more so like, you got a lot of Asians coming, you got a lot of Chinese, you got a lot of Jamaicans, and these people, and they listen to world music.
Yeah.
So you singing songs that people know. Would get them moving.
Yeah.
And so so that was an experience. So if you ever want to go to Apollo, choose your best song, but choose a song that people know.
Okay.
Choose a song that's
what song did you sing? You sang
I sung I Need You Now, which was great.
I
recorded. I might post it,
Yeah.
I sung I Need You Now by Smokey Norfolk.
Yeah.
I think I did that twice. Or was there another song? I think I did Music Soul Child one time.
Okay. All right. Yeah. See, like
I switched it up. I did a nice R&B song that really speaks to relationships.
Yeah.
And then I did a gospel song. So both were great,
Yeah.
They both were good.
You should have sang, what I like to hear you sing?
What?
I like to hear you sing I Can't Make You Love Me.
Oh yeah.
You body that song. Like
I should have. Yeah, that would have been like if I ever go back, because you're never too old to go back.
Yeah,
and it's right there in New York City. So
yeah, you body like that like if you ever like release like a greatest hits album, that's on your greatest hits album like that.
I wouldn't mind doing that. I wouldn't mind doing. Actually, I was talking to a producer and I was talking about doing a love album. And the love album would consist of. Me talking to God talking to me, me talking to relationship matters. Like I'm thinking about doing that. Like, why not?
I mean, definitely why
not? A catalog of great music.
Yeah.
And married people are not going to listen to we've come this far by faith in the bedroom when they're about to be together and be intimate with each other.
No,
we're not listening to that. They're not listening to I love you, don't I lift my voice. They're not listening to stuff like that. They're listening to the love songs, and there is nothing wrong with it. God is love, and God wants us to love each other. That's why He created the woman, because when He created the woman, before He created the woman, He saw that man was lonely. He took her out and created her from man's body.
Absolutely.
So because of that, because God knew that we needed someone else to complete us in the earthly realm besides Him, we have long love song to show each other appreciation for each other. It's not taking away from God. It's not putting God below. God is always at the top. So when it comes to music and different genres, I don't have an issue with that. And I'm going to sing what I want to sing, and I'm going to
love that
music, and I'm going to sing love songs that will touch the hearts of people. Mend the broken hearts between people.
Yeah.
So ministry is beyond that. Like churches have marriage ministries, singles ministries.
Absolutely.
Because these things are important,
Absolutely.
and not only being taught spoken wise, but in music.
Yes.
In music. So yeah, I've been thinking about doing a love album.
I think me and you had this discussion last night, but I see you as somebody who amasses a catalog of music.
Yeah.
That stands the test of time. Like I do, and that's not just because your family. It's I've known you my whole life, and I've heard your voice develop and grow. And like I was saying last night, like I don't see you as somebody who gets this one major hit and then disappears.
Right.
I see you as somebody who
you made me think too. You really made me think, and I thought of it that way. And it was in that moment I was like, wow, because I released a song and someone said to me they didn't think it was a hit. So I was just battling the thought of that, because you don't really want to hear anything negative about anything that you do.
Right.
And although that might not be considered negative, that is kind of negative. But number one, who cares? And number two, it doesn't have to be a hit.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't have to be a hit to make a change. It doesn't have to be a hit to medicine someone's heart.
Yeah.
It don't have to be a hit to encourage somebody. I'm not in the business of making hits. I'm in the business of what? And you said it, of making music, a catalog of music. Life music.
That's what happens. But I think that's the part that people miss about the industry. Right? Because everybody wants to be the major star. Everybody wants, to have the mega hits and be Beyonce. Well, guess what? Everybody ain't gonna be Beyonce. Everybody's not gonna be Chris Brown. Everybody's not gonna be Usher. There are so many great artists that are out here just amassing amazing catalogs of music. I think about Music Soul Child. I was just talking about Music Soul Child with you last night. And Music Soul Child is my favorite, since Stevie, it's music. Like that's my guy. And but my favorite Music Soul Child album, he didn't even release it under his name. He released it under Purple. What's it called? Sorry. The album is called. Let me see.
He's definitely one of my favorites.
It's called dang it. Sorry, not gonna look at my playlist because it's like the song I listen to like more than anything else. The album's called. Oh, he released it under Purple Love, right? Wow. He released the album under the moniker Purple Love, and it doesn't sound like any of his stuff. Wow. Like he throws so many genres in it that he's like mixing together and allowing it to flow and build on top of one another. It's like Sade meets Bob Marley meets Stevie meets like it's so much. It's like and nobody knows that album. That's my favorite Music album.
Wow.
And as a fan of his, right? Because I know the music. Somebody may say, hey, that wasn't a hit. I didn't hear that on the radio. I don't care. Right. I like good music. People who are gonna be fans of Maurice are gonna be like, I love hearing Maurice sing.
I think you freed me in that moment about this hit thing. You really did. It was just so swift, and quick, and then it made me think like, wow. Yeah, like that's what it is. Thank you. That was the answer I was looking for. Like when it comes to that, because it's like, oh, it's not a hit. It's not a hit. Don't get focused on trying to make a hit. Get focused on making music that will change lives.
That will impact.
Impact. Okay, so hit. Okay, but guess what? I still believe. Once you hear it, you're gonna be tapping your foot. You be like, I still believe. All you need to say is believe. That's it.
Quality over quantity, right? Quality over quantity. So, like for me, like. There's certain things I can do. I don't even think about like this show, right? So this show is something that I average maybe, on a good week, I do 2,000 views, right? On a bad week, I do about 450, 500 views. Not terrible, right? But I know that there are certain things that I could talk about. There are certain things that I could do that would easily get me 10,000 into the 50,000. I can come here and do all kind of crazy nuts stuff just to get eyeballs on it. But I don't want a quick fix. I don't want to be, because anything that comes fast goes fast. Anything that comes quickly leaves quickly. But when I steadily build my audience, it allows me to have people who say, I remember when it was just me and 5 other people watching this episode, and be good. Like I remember that. Like I remember my first episode was like literally like probably 20 people watched that episode. But I go back and I look at how far I've come since that first episode, and now I'm like, I'll tell you a story, and it's really crazy. I was on a cruise ship. Me and my family went on a cruise last June, and I was walking around. I always try to wear Real Talk stuff. Like I always try to wear Real Talk gear because like branding is important, right? Yeah. So I had my shirt on, and I'm walking through the ship, and a lady taps me on the shoulder, and she says, "Hey, don't you have a show on Facebook?"
Right.
And I'm like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, is it called Real Talk with Rajon? And I turn around and I'm like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, I watch your show all the time.
See?
We were on the way to the Bahamas.
I've had
in the middle of the ocean. Right. That's how you measure your impact. That's how you measure because maybe you don't sell 1 million records. But guess what? If you release albums on your own under your own moniker and you sell 500, that's $500 albums that go directly to your pocket. You stream and that money come back like that's, and you're building a fan base. And then one day when you do amass that catalog and people can look back, now somebody becomes a fan of yours because they saw you sing at a venue and they say, hey, do you have any music out? Yeah, I have a iTunes thing. And now they go back and listen to all your old stuff and they're like, oh,
they be like, wow,
I didn't know. I didn't know you were that guy.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But I want to encourage you, man. Like, and that's why every time I see you, I always want to try to sow that seed of encouragement to you because I know what you do. I know what you do vocally. There aren't too many people I can put in a room with you.
A lot of people because, like I said yesterday, like before I even joined Focus, my first choir group that I joined besides church.
Shout out to Mike Brown and Focus.
Yeah, shout out to Focus, Mike Brown and Focus. It was me, Eugene, Javar, right? And we were together, and that was like the first fake group that I sang in, you know. And what was the song that we would do? And you would give me the part. It was close your eyes, make a whisper. I used to do the other part. I used to do the high part. What is it? Help me. What was the part?
Baby, tonight is the night.
Right. Yeah. So y'all was always give me the high part because my voice was always up there.
Your voice was the highest one.
Up there, but it just means so much to think back on those times. It's like, wow, my artistry was being stretched, and what I did not know, I was working. I didn't know nothing about that because we didn't have a lot of stuff. We didn't have a lot of social media. We did hear the radio. But I didn't know what I was listening to, parts and singing different leads and things like that. Whitney Houston was the person that taught me how to sing.
Yeah. I remember.
My voice matched her perfectly. So she taught me how to sing. And then I got opened up to all these other groups. We were 5 steps.
Yep. 5 steps.
So but we were singing together. So that I got a taste of that with you, Javar, and Gene.
The accent.
That was those were memorable. Then here's another one. I don't know if you remember this. We was in choir room, and then we started singing Brandy. I want to be down.
Yeah.
Going to. So it was a choir. I was just glad to be there, and I was in the 6th grade, 7th grade, or whatever. You was like above me, but I was just in the chorus room when we all was there. And I just remember that too. So those are moments, are cherishable moments, because those are the stepping stones to where we are,
Absolutely, man.
Cherishable moments forever. Like no one else could ever say they shared that moment with me.
Yeah,
So those are cherishable moments. Like wow.
Well, I'm definitely proud of you and everything that you're doing, man. I encourage I continue to encourage the push in you. And the belief in you. I love that your new single it's called I Still Believe, because I know a lot of people that definitely still believe in what you bring to the table and what you will be able to do when it is your time, because in due season, if you faint not, all right, in due season, all right, so absolutely.
And so
So I want you to sing a little something if that's okay, because I've been bigging you up And I want people like, well, he went through all of that and he didn't say, oh, by the way, are you joining the singers room Saturday night?
Yes. All you gotta do is remind me. I can do it.
I'll definitely remind you. I'll send you a link.
Replace it. I'll be on there. I'll jump in.
Awesome. So, what you gonna sing for us?
You got a request? I mean, I can sing.
I Can't Make You Love Me.
You want me to sing that one?
Yep.
I don't know.
That's my greatest hits.
Let's see. Audience, we just had a massive cookout with our family yesterday.
Yeah.
You know. Just want to say
he's good. You don't got to give him the church excuses. We good.
I'll just do a little bit of it.
All right.
Key I want to start in. I won't be too high. I'll get up there. Turn down the lights. Turn down the bed. Turn down these voices inside of my head. Lay down me and tell me no lies. Just hold me close. Don't patronize. Don't patronize. I can make you love me. You can make your heart feel something it won't. Here in the dark, in these final hours, I will lay down my heart and feel the power, but you won't. No, you won't. I close my eyes so I can see the love you don't feel when you're holding me. Morning will come and I will do what's right. Just give me till then to give up this fight. To give up this fight. I can make you love me. And you can make your heart feel something warm. Here in the dark, in these final hours, I will lay down my heart and feel the power, but you won't. No, you won't. I can make you love me. No. Oh, no.
Come on, yo.
No.
Come on, yo. See,
Yeah.
I told y'all. I told y'all. This is my cousin, Maurice Smith, aka Reggie. Where can they find you on social media, bro?
So my Instagram and Facebook Instagram is Maurice_Smith. That's MAURICE_Smith. That's my Instagram. And then my Facebook page is just Maurice Smith. So yeah, that's it. It's just Maurice Smith. The cover is the cover of my single, which is entitled I Still Believe. Yep. So if you can't check that out, it's on iTunes. It's available on all digital outlets. It's called I Still Believe by Maurice Smith. I also have another single out called You Are Great. Another major song. Get straight to the heart. You're Great. And then I have another song. It's called You're All I Want, my very first single that I did on my own. So all this music I did on my own. How about that?
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
No
Absolutely.
one owns it, all my music. I'm great and I'm happy that I'm an independent artist and I have that control over it. So
absolutely. You got any closing thoughts before we wrap up?
I would say to keep on believing. And this is speaking, to my song that I just released. I learned that everybody's journey is different, but it doesn't mean that it's not for you. It doesn't mean that you weren't meant to be what you dreamed to be. It does not mean that you're second best or you're this or you're that. Continue to believe and work on your gift and go forward. Find God, trust in God, believe in Him, accept Him, receive Him, and all these things that you so desire will be added to you. Come into the kingdom. Come into the kingdom of God. People that are not saved, that don't know Him, I'm telling you, it's another kingdom. It is another world of freedom. It's another world of deliverance. It's another world of healing. Whatever you need is available in this new kingdom. The kingdom of this world, we don't live in that system. Those that are saved, we live in the kingdom of God. So we have a whole set of new rules, a whole set of perks and benefits and access and things that we need. So if I could say anything to you, to the listener, search, ask God to come into your heart. You don't have to search for Him because He's right there.
Absolutely.
And continue to believe in your gift, believe in God, and stay strong, and don't give up. And also one more thing. I was singing one night, and this came to me. The day you let go of your plan will become the day you become successful. Yeah. So this was during the time of The Voice. I was still going through. I was coming out of it, but I was singing. I was getting out of it. And the guy spoke to me in the middle of the song. He said, let go of your plans.
Yeah.
And watch how successful you become.
Yeah, I love it.
He has a greater plan. And He the one gave us the gift. The gift comes without repentance. Gifts are freely given. So yes, you are destined to work in your gift. You are purposed to work in your gift, but you now have to just surrender yourself to know how to use your gift so you can flow in it the best way, the way that God intended for you to do it. So that's what I would say. And get my music,
get his music.
Download it. It's only 99 cents. I'm an independent artist, I ain't struggling, but just go ahead and download that music. Let it impart to your heart. Hit me up on social media. Questions, anything you want to say, hit me up. If you download the song, tag me in the song on Instagram, make a post about it. How much, what it meant to you to hear. I still believe you are great or you're all I want. Do all of that stuff. I want to know. What you think. And if you have any questions, just hit me up. I'm here. I have all the social medias. Yeah. And subscribe to my cousin. He's doing a great work in the land in these days. I'm telling you, support this man. Support him. I'm telling you. Support him. Yeah.
Hey man, thank you. Oh, if they want to book you, how can they contact you?
Maurice. So it's Maurice Maurice Smith SMITH, music with a Q, MUSCIQ. Did I say that right? Did I say that right?
Oh, no, it's your email address.
Music with a Q at gmail.com.
Okay. All right. Word. Just put it in the comment section.
Hit me up on the social medias. The messages, send me a message and we can go from there.
Word. Well, thank you so much, cuz. I'm gonna do this close real quick and get us out of here. Just don't leave. I'm gonna just do this close real quick. All right. Thank you so much to my guest this week, Maurice Smith, my cousin. He did that. Thank you guys so much for watching this week. Remember that the show is now once weekly. Every Wednesday night, I am interviewing my local celebrity spotlight guests. Every Sunday night at 7 p.m. is my normal live show. I am not doing a show next Wednesday night because I have finals for my grad school course that I need to get done. And I love y'all, but I don't love y'all enough to fail a class for y'all. If you are doing something in the community that you would like for me to shine a light on, please reach out to me on my website. That's www.realtalkrajan.com. so we can discuss getting you on the show. I am expanding to, now that I can do remote interviews, I am expanding beyond the low country. So if you live in California, New York, Florida, wherever you are, let me know. I'd love to bring you on and interview you to talk about what it is that you're doing. This and all of my shows, in addition to the Car Chronicles series, is now available for your listening pleasure via Apple, Google, Spotify, and wherever you can find podcasts. You can also find it on my website, www.realtalkwithrajan.com. If you'd like to be made aware of when I go live, because sometimes it is scheduled, please be sure to click on the follow tab on the page and turn on the notifications so that you'll know when something has been posted to my page. In the meantime, please follow me on social media to stay up to date on what's happening with Real Talk with Rajan. Go to any social media site and type in Real Talk Rajan, that's REZSAUN, and my face is going to pop up on my logo. Feel free to leave comments, questions, or whatever else you'd like to say in the comment section or the message section. I love reading your messages and getting your feedback if it's negative. Why? Because I do not seek to be told how great I am. I seek to become as great as I can possibly become, and that only happens with honest feedback. I am also accepting speaking engagements and event hosting opportunities. If you'd like for me to host or speak at your event, you can request me via my website. That's www.realtalkwithrajan.com. In closing, always remember, God is everything, and without him, we are nothing, so never forget where your help comes from. And if a man doesn't stand for something, he's bound to fall for anything. Now that is real talk. I will see y'all in 2 weeks. Peace.